One Piece chapter 1143, it is titled Holy Knights. We got a colored cover page, which was a request, and they wanted to see the Straw Hats in a car chase. So the crew, they're racing on fish to see who's going to get first. It's a really nice looking cover page. Everyone's in it just for fun. And we have Luffy and Zoro who are neck and neck competing to see who will finish in first place. If you guys didn't know, the One Piece anime will be returning for the spring simcast, and we're going to get an episode April 5th, as well as an additional episode on April 6th. And then for the rest of the time, probably until One Piece goes on break again, if I had to predict, it'll probably be at the end of Egghead before the Elbaph arc. But the next episode will be releasing on the 13th, and we should expect to receive One Piece episodes each and every Sunday, like I said, until they go on break again. But with that out of the way, let's get into this chapter's breakdown. People just don't listen. I know you guys can definitely relate to this. I personally cannot stand when you tell somebody something and then they do the opposite of what you tell them. I don't know about you guys, I give people a look whenever that happens. Whenever somebody comes back and tells me they did the opposite of what I said, I look at them like this. Like, because at this point, why even bother giving you this warning or give you advice if you're just going to do a complete 180? And that is exactly what Saul did. And I'm low-key glad that he got hurt, because the brother, he's hard-headed. So he goes after the kids that are sleepwalking, and not only did Mr. Wolf, but Robin and Chopper, they advised him not to touch the children. And what did he do? You guessed it. He touched the children. And all of a sudden, a briar force field emerged from Yilva and stabbed Saul's hand. I get the situation, it's dangerous, you want to help, you don't want the kids running into the fire turning into a barbecue dinner. I get that, but at the same time, you gotta think things through and try to find another way to save the kids. Angie makes a call to the elders and the Elbaph warriors that are currently at the party. She's like, hey, kids, they're falling asleep. Kids, they're sleepwalking. Monsters are spawning. Fires everywhere. We need help. I still have my eye on Angie. She's in the clear for now, but she still does look a little suspicious. Still could be working with the Holy Knights. Of course, hearing this causes an uproar. The Straw Hats that are there, like Jinbei, Brook, and Nami, they're listening. I love how the transponder snail is their actual size, and Oda's attention to detail regarding scale. The Giants, they are prepared to take action as they send a firefighting Savar towards the fire, or so they thought, because they were intercepted by a Draugr. Honestly, this thing looks like Brook is cosplaying as a giant, low-key. It looks pretty funny, if I'm being honest, but the Draugr goes and then Mink smacks the mess out of the Savar, smacking it out of the sky, leaving the Giants in shock. So it looks like they're going to have to deal with the Draugr and other different monsters that have spawned before they can head and save the kids. We got to the Holy Knights, and they're just chilling out in the middle of Elbaph, and they're enjoying a gourmet Thanksgiving dinner. The more we learn about them, the more I'm rocking with the Holy Knights, especially Sommers and what his thoughts are about love. And I'll go a little bit more into detail about that, why that makes him and Sanji the matchup during this arc, but like I said, I'll go in a little bit later. But in this particular statement, he's right. He has the thorns that punish love. Parents tend to want to show love and affection by running in and hugging and embracing their kids, and in this situation, if they do that, then the parents, they're going to be pricked by thorns, which will cause the kids to see their worst nightmare, the parents that they love so much, in agony. It's so twisted, but in the context of what the Holy Knights want to achieve, well, it's actually pretty genius, since the kids would probably prefer to go with the Holy Knights than rather seeing their parents get hurt. The thorns that Sommers mentioned was because of his devil fruit. He has the thorn fruit, making him a thorn man, and I talked about this a little bit in my review, but it reminds me a lot of Charlotte from Black Clover, as she is the Briar Queen and she fights with different thorns. We also got introduced to Killingham's fruit, who ate the dragon fruit, Moto Killing, which makes him a mythical zone, and he is a manifestation man. And this power was displayed both with the monsters from the kids' dreams, as well as Sommers when he was dreaming about salt for the feast that they were eating. So this clears up any misunderstanding from different members of the community who thought that Sommers was the one to manifest the monsters. The Holy Knights, they're like I said, they're at a buffet, just eat, just eating it up. They're sitting up in here not even worried about what's happening, saying, hey, this is an easy game, a child's game. And Gungo's like, hold up, slow your roll, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, because I saw Emperor Straw Hat Luffy, his ship is here, so shit is gonna go down. I mentioned this earlier. This is where I wanted to talk about different matchups that I assume it's going to happen, and this is under the assumption that Shamrock, he won't be returning, and also Loki, that he's not a bad guy. So the Holy Knights versus the Straw Hats. First, I think Luffy is going to fight against Killingham because of how similar their powers are, imagination and manifestation. Then I think Zoro is going to fight Gunko because of how it was depicted, sort of that she was kind of like the number 2 after Shamrock, and the fact that she uses arrows, which represents direction, and we know how Zoro, he loves to get lost after every arc. Lastly, Sanji versus Sommers, because, well, Sanji won't fight a woman, and Sommers also talks about love. Same with Gabon, talks about love. Sanji talks about love. So that's why I think these are going to be the matchups during Elbaph. Like I said, this is under the assumption that Shamrock doesn't make a return, as well as Loki is a good guy. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and you're enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I pump out different One Piece content almost each and every day. We then cut to Loki, who is still causing a commotion, wanting to be freed. He mentioned that Haruden can't even lift Ragnar, which I wonder if this is based on how big the hammer is, so like the actual size, or Haruden just isn't worthy of lifting the hammer, similar to how Mjolnir works in the MCU. And so this makes me wonder, Usopp, he a lot of the times in the series has the 5-ton hammer, the 10-ton hammer. I think it would be pretty cool if Usopp would be able to lift Ragnar. Loki is still threatening the citizens of the Sun World, and Haruden, he finally caves. He's like, all right, we'll free you. You can go free, just don't do anything. And Zoro, he intervenes. You already know Zoro, he's trying to catch up in the oil farming tier. We know Jinwoo, he's been killing it so far. He's like, Haruta, don't even listen to him, right? This is just nothing but his empty threats. And then Luffy steps in because he said earlier that if Loki ever did something bad or he stepped out of line, that Luffy, he'd be raring to go and he'd be willing to stop him. And Zoro, he informs Luffy, he's like, hey, I know you said that, but take it easy on him. He's in a grave state because of how much blood he lost, all the injuries, etc. Now, I do want to mention, before Luffy hits him with a Gear 3rd arm balloon attack, Luffy stated that he'd lost this one. So I wonder if Loki said it like that because he was bluffing about going on a rampage in order to be set free, or if he actually was in such a bad state that he made that statement. And the reason why I think that, because after the attack, and it didn't seem like Luffy hit him that hard. I know Zoro said to go easy on him, but still, Loki, he fell face first into the ground, and because of the grave state that he is in, Luffy asks Haruden to save Loki. Gerd, she's the doctor, so of course she's the individual that is going to heal him. However, she states that it'll take months before Loki is truly healed. That's how bad and how much blood he lost. We get a flashback from Haruden's perspective about King Harald and Loki when he was younger, and Harald, he wanted both of his sons to support Elbaph after he's gone. I do find that statement to be a little bit suspicious, because I know Harald said this, but he also didn't allow Haruden to live in the castle. But we'll get into that a little later. There's also a panel of Haruden who is blooded on the ground. Loki's making fun of him for being weak and having dirty blood since his mother wasn't from Elbaph. It's also interesting to note that Loki, he does have the bandages over his eyes, and he had that ever since he was young. He also has a Kanabo, which is Kaido's weapon. So having similar weapons as well as horns, a lot of people within the community are under the assumption that Loki and Kaido are related. And also having these bandages, we know that Loki has future sight. His observation haki has to be some of the best in the series. The chapter ends with Harald picking up an axe. He is ready to kill Loki because of everything that he did to him in the past. However, Loki stated that everyone says that he killed King Harald with murder in his heart, but does Harald really believe that? And I talked about this earlier, that it was really suspicious that Harald was all lovey-dovey, you know, I love my sons, and yet one of them couldn't stay in the castle. So it looks like next week we're going to get a flashback and finally figure out what exactly happened between Loki and King Harald. More likely than not, I think it has something to do with Harald trying to sell out Elbaph, maybe the resource, or maybe the entire country altogether for a position with the world government, more specifically to become a member of the Holy Knights. But that's just my little prediction. Let me know how you guys feel about this chapter in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.